On this week's Digital Marketing News Roundup, LinkedIn tries out carousels, Facebook is testing A/B testing, CMOs are going digital, but do we really trust the internet?
Welcome to the Digital Marketing News. I'm Tiffany Allen.
And with your first story this week, I am Joshua Knight, or I am Josh Knight. Which of those would you find more compelling?
It really just depends, Josh.
Option A, Z, Josh. Option A or option B? Which, of course, A/B testing is one of the just fundamental tactics in a marketer's tool belt, but it's something that we haven't been able to do very effectively on the Facebook, which is also one of the more important platforms for marketers to be on. Fortunately, that looks to be about to change. A fellow who was kind of trolling through the code of the Facebooks in a very sneaky way found that it looks like they are about to start rolling out an A/B testing option for pages. So when you make a post on your page, you can select a control post and a test post, an A and a B, if you will, a C and a D, if you will not. And then you can track how people respond to it. Facebook's algorithm will kind of serve them up equally, and you'll be able to make adjustments accordingly. So this is something that other sites like hashtag client LinkedIn have been doing for a while. It's great to see Facebook maybe sipping a toe in here. And since organic reach has been down since January, actually, when they changed their algorithm to more promote people and not so much the brands. This is a game of inches, and we can use any advantage we get. So as soon as this gets to your dashboard, let's A/B test.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in other hashtag client LinkedIn news, Josh, LinkedIn just rolled out sponsored content carousel ads this week, which allow 10 customizable swipeable cards in a sponsored content campaign.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so advertisers can feature multiple visuals in their campaigns that are arranged horizontally and users can swipe through. They come with the standard metrics, of course, click-through rate, how many leads to generate, those kinds of things. But it'll also give you metrics on each of the 10 visuals or up to 10 visuals in your card. So you can see, hey, maybe this creative performed better, maybe folks are converting here, and that kind of information, which is really interesting to see for folks who are targeting a more premium audience on LinkedIn to be able to tell what kind of creative resonates with those folks.
Right. And also sponsored content carousels, doo-dah, doo-dah.
He's been waiting all day to do that.
I have been, or at least the last 5 minutes.
Fair enough.
With your next story, I'm going to be over there. So my next story is also from the world of Facebook and of how people are changing their activity on Facebook after Cambridge Analytica and other privacy scandals that we are just now learning about that are probably the tip of a very big and very chilly iceberg. So Atlantic Magazine did a kind of an unscientific survey, but one with a pretty significant sample size. They asked 2,200 of their readers, mostly maybe a little bit more in the economic status than just a random sampling, but 2,200 people, how they had changed their behavior. And I thought the results were a little bit interesting. 9.6% said that they left Facebook altogether. So that's a pretty small percentage, but it is also a sizable chunk of the populace. 41% say that they did change their behavior. The majority said that they were more careful about what they posted. In the single digits were people saying that they did things like look at their privacy settings or disallow connections, that kind of thing. It's interesting to see that Facebook is, among the social networks, it is the least trusted, but it is also the most used. So 58% of people said that they had no trust in the platform, but they're still on there. So I think the takeaway for this is that we do need to be mindful of the fact that people have this perception now of this platform, even though they do still feel compelled to use it. So I think we need to be respectful of the platform. We need to be respectful of people's data and don't be sleazy, and show that even though the platform itself may be problematic in some ways, that the brands themselves can still be trustworthy. So form those relationships and, of course, get your audience off of Facebook onto your own lists as quickly as you can as well. And with our next story, here's Tiffany Allen.
Thanks, Josh. According to a new Nielsen study, CMOs are saying that digital marketing and digital media is more effective than traditional media, and it's going to be reflected in their budgets in the upcoming year. So while there is a lot of data out there, CMOs are having a hard time tying ad spend and investment in digital marketing to their ROI. In fact, 81% of CMOs agree that media owners should be the ones providing those metrics and also being held accountable to the campaign performance on their platforms. For the next 12 months, 82% of CMOs are going to be increasing their overall digital spend as part of their existing advertising budget, taking away from that traditional media spend. And then they are actually going to be increasing their overall budgets by about 49% for digital in the next year. Only 30% plan to increase their spend on traditional media. So while we know that digital media is a little bit easier to measure, a little bit easier to prove ROI, it sounds like there's still quite a bit of ways to go in terms of being able to measure the success of your campaigns. So for you CMOs out there, keep remembering you have to set your objectives, define your KPIs, and then prove those points as you go forward in your campaigns. Back to us.
Thanks, Tiffany. Our final report this week is a new study on online privacy and trust in online apps and social media and search engines. This research was done by Ipsos, the Internet Society, and the Center for International Governance Innovation, which is majestic, I think. Downright majestic. So this majestic organization, they did the study. They found that 52% of people around the world are more concerned about their online privacy now than they were a year ago. Makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
They have a lot more reasons to be.
Yeah, and contributing to this is a kind of overall sense that online platforms have too much power. And actually, respondents at a 2-to-1 ratio felt that these platforms had too much power versus too little. So for example, social media, 63% said it had too much power over their online presence, online life. 30% said it had too little. And for search engines, it was 57% and 28% respectively.
I love the numbers for online advertisements because 49%, so less than half, said that they had too much power. 29% said they had too little. So nearly a third of people are saying, I wish that my life was more governed by online advertisements. I have not bought enough pairs of hiking boots after I bought hiking boots and saw hiking boots everywhere.
Everywhere.
So that's going to happen. 56% said that search engines influence what they purchase online. 52% said the same for social media. So I think really good numbers there for marketers.
Yeah, and 64% said the search engines and 57% said social media influence what websites they visit, what news they see, and what apps they use.
Right. So I think this just kind of speaks to the need as a digital marketer to integrate all of your tactics. So it's social media and search engine optimization and influencer amplification and paid and all of the ways that we can get a little bit of subtle influence in a relevant, meaningful way to an audience without kind of relying on one of them to consolidate that power. Wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think building trust with your customers and with your prospects is going to be essential when we're in an age where folks just aren't trusting as much as what they see on the internet, which makes sense. So again, that influencer component, lending that credibility, client testimonials, user-generated content, all of that's going to be a better bet for you potentially moving forward.
Absolutely.
All right, well, that's all the news we have for you this week. We'll be back next week with more digital marketing news with Tiffany Allen and a special guest. And then you can follow TopRank on Twitter at TopRank for more news, or me at Tiffany_Allen.
Yep, I should add that special guest will not be me because I will be briefly on vacation, but I will be back, so, don't panic. But you can find me on Twitter at Nightrights, that's NITEWRITES. If you like the show and you want to hear more from TopRank, please make sure to subscribe and click the notification button. And if you really like retro video games and super cool videos and awesome chiptune music, please check out the latest videos that we've posted that are for our Content Marketing World asset, where we have some 30-odd amazing marketers that we've rendered in 8-bit form, and their advice, which is for the high-res digital age, far beyond even what my favorite console, the Nintendo 64, can do. So check out the videos, check out the asset. All that is super cool, and I will see you in 2 weeks.
Okay, bye.